Hello and welcome back to our Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky 1 playthrough. In our last episode we fished a bit while we were waiting for sunset, we lay in wait, we observed the Sky Pirates landing nearby, then we stowed away and now we are here at their hideout. So now we have to go look for evidence of what they've been up to and if they have anything or not to do with the disappearance of the Linda and our dad. So, let's go forward, shall we? Empty rooms. Let's see, what do we have? We have gold rats with 388 HP. They are weak to fire magic. They drop juicy bones. They are shiny golden nocturnal monsters. Attacks by using poison-filled glands on its feet. How lovely. Oh, that poor gold rat. Rat spring. I mean, you're an owl. Ow. That's not nice, you know. The owls, elder owls, they have 350 HP. They are slightly weak to water. They drop tender poultry. And they are an aggressive avian monster. It circles mountainous regions by air in search of prey. Well, considering that we're being besieged by things that can poison us, let's deal with those first, shall we? Ow! Not nice, thank you. I want to tear. Oh, so close. So close. Very nice. That's quite a bit. We've got 2 juicy bones and a tender poultry. Lucky us. Oh, is that a chest? It is a chest, but it has nothing in it, which is rather unfortunate. Same in here. Oh, this has a chest in it though. We found a scorpion. The chest is already empty, you double dipper. Not many people on patrol in this Sky Pirate headquarters. We found an EP charge. The chest is empty. Empty? The chest is empty. Makes you want to cry, doesn't it? Another chest. We found a jeweled ring. The chest is empty. How tragic. And so is the rest of that corridor. And the scorpion. Is that an equipment or is that a what? Oh, it is an equipment. It is a whip. Scheherazade does not have it, so we may as well equip it. A scorpion is a battle whip with a steel claw attached to the fall. It increases strength by 35 and range by 2. The voices of some men can be heard. Joshua says, "It sounds like some of the grunts. Shall we rush the room?" Why not indeed, let's rush. Sky Pirate Aaron asks, "Huh? Oh, you guys new around here?" Estelle sighs, "Like in your freaking dreams? Are these guys for real?" Sky Pirate Roscoe asks, but if you're not new here, then who are you?" Sky Pirate Aaron asks, "What? Are you supposed to be intruders?" Olivier says, "Bingo!" Joshua says, "We're with the Bracers Guild. I think it would be best if you surrendered." Sky Pirate Roscoe says, "Forget that." Sky Pirate Aaron says, "We won't give up without a fight." Gee, that's 6 Sky Pirates. Alright, let's major art, shall we?
Let me show you the true essence of beauty.
Oh, I say.
Someone's been naughty. Here I come.
More poison. Ow. That's not nice.
Take that.
It's still not nice.
Take that. That's that then. Let's move out.
That's a nice amount of fire, Sibith. Sky Pirate Aaron groans. Still demands. Alright, now where are the hostages? You don't start talking, there are going to be some consequences involving a whip. Sky Pirate Aaron says, do what you want with us. We're not going to talk. Scheherazade asks, oh, is that so? Let me handle this, Estelle. Estelle nods, sure, can't say I didn't warn you guys. Sky Pirate Aaron shrieks, ah! Scheherazade says, honestly, I'm being quite gentle with you. Don't think for a second that you're about to pass out yet. But if you start talking, maybe I'll be kind enough to let you. Sky Pirate Aaron groans. Yikes. They're down below. Some of our crew are guarding them. Scheherazade nods. Very good. Now where are your leaders? Kyle and Josette, right? Sky Pirate Aaron says, forget it, lady, do your worst. No one will tell you where they are. Scheherazade asks, so the hostages are one thing, but you're not going to sell out your bosses, huh? I guess there's only one thing left to do. Sky Pirate Aaron groans. Estelle sighs. Holy Strakus. Scheherazade is as unforgiving as ever. Scheherazade says, this? No, I've been far more unforgiving. Olivier says, any masochist would be thrilled to make your acquaintance, Shara. Scheherazade says, and my whip would be thrilled to make yours. Olivier replies, maybe some other time. Joshua says, it looks like the hostages are being held down below. Let's hurry. First, let us... ceremony for Joshua. And a rockfish skewer for Estelle. And maple bickies for Scheherazade and Olivier. In here we can nick. Not by the looks of it. A mad tree. It has 785 HP. It is weak to fire. It has clear agility. A plant monster from the mountains. Slows prey's movements with mud. Weak against fire. Well, indeed. Ow. Not bad. Nope, nothing in there. Nasty. Ew. Five pump with purging balm on Estelle.
To go.
Firebolt on the tree.
Enjoy the show.
I believe they did. Estelle asks, anyone have a clue what this place is? It's way too big for these bandits to have built, and it seems pretty ancient. Scheherazade replies, it almost feels like a stronghold of some sort. I agree, this place is pretty old. I wonder if people used hidden forts like this one as hideouts back then. Olivier says, as far as I've heard, the turmoil following the Great Collapse continued on for several hundred years. So it doesn't seem that strange to me that something like this is still around. Estelle asks, the Great Collapse? Joshua replies, the collapse of the ancient Sumerian civilization which existed more than 1200 years ago. It's said that a huge natural catastrophe wiped them out. Estelle asks, oh, you mean like Professor Alba said before? Scheherazade says, I tell you what though, for being a place this hard to find, someone's got some seriously bad taste in hideouts. Not to mention, there are all sorts of monsters lurking around in here too. I wonder if this is how all men like to live. Joshua sighs, sure. Olivier asks, just what kind of men are you hanging out with? And on we go. Oh, chest. We found a Strecker R. The chest has nothing left to offer you. What is a Strecker R? Wonder. Oh, they are accessories. Defense plus 10, movement plus 1, the regular model of Strecker brand sneakers. Well, as Estelle is the resident Shiwophile, she may as well have them. And firebolts all around. Curse you, rat spring.
Oh, are we done already?
And Scheherazade is leveled up to level 15. And we received a tender poultry and a juicy bone. Right. firebolts all around. Ew. Ew. Dear Joshua.
Seems you came up short.
Received clear gelatine. Don't want to be struck in the back after all. Firebolts all around. Let's tear Estelle. And launch some more fires right back.
Oh, are we done already?
And both Estelle and Joshua are now level 15. We received a clear gelatine, and that was it. Okay. Fire! And more fire.
Oh, are we done already?
Nice. Okay, that's the end there. The voices of some men can be heard. I can hear somebody talking again, says Joshua. Shall we rush the room? Sky Pirate Lonnie asks, who are you guys supposed to be? Sky Pirate Dino says, braces? How did you get in here? Scheherazade says, it looks like the hostages are being held in the room just beyond here. I think it's time you surrendered quietly, or else. Sky Pirate Lonnie says, don't kid yourself. Sky Pirate Dino says, let's get 'em. And in they come.
Let me show you the true essence of music.
Someone's been naughty.
Oh, he got a little bit. Ow. Ow. Not nice. Thank you for missing.
Take that!
Better tear Joshua. Keep him in the game. Ow. Nasty.
Take that!
Let's finish him.
All right, we're good to go.
And a nice amount of fire crystals. We've got a poison. That's all. Trino asks, what's going on out there? I mean, I don't see Daddy anywhere in this room. Captain Grant says, it seems a bit loud for just an internal squabble. Estelle demands, is everyone all right? Scheherazade reports, we're with the Braces Guild and we've come to rescue you. Trino asks, seriously? We're saved? Joshua nods, we've taken care of the guards, so you don't need to worry about anything for the moment. Parker asks, really? Lenore asks, you've been saved? Captain Grant says, I'm Grant, captain of the airliner Linda. I don't know how to express my gratitude for what you've done for us here today. Estelle says you can thank us after we've gotten you out of here. By the way... Huh? Joshua says it doesn't look like he's here. Captain Grant asks, who? Estelle mumbles, are these all the hostages? Captain Grant replies, yes, that's correct. This is everybody who was on the Linda, including crew and passengers. Estelle gasps, "That can't be right." Joshua asks, "Wasn't there a man by the name of Cassius Bright on this flight?" "He's a member of the Bracers Guild." Captain Grant says, "Cassius Bright? I do seem to remember hearing that name somewhere." Crew member Claire asks, "Captain, isn't he that passenger? You know, the one who got off right before we left?" Captain Grant nods. "Right. Now that you mention it, there was one passenger who did get off." Estelle demands, "What do you mean?" Captain Grant replies, "There was this one passenger who disembarked the airliner right before we took off. A man who had been on board since the Royal City, and he did seem to have such a name, if I remember correctly." Estelle asks, "What? But his name was on the passengers list." Captain Grant replies, "Well, since he got off right before we departed, there wasn't any time to document the changes. This would have been handled had we arrived in Relent, but we were attacked by the Sky Pirates en route, and things were left as they were." Estelle gasps. Joshua asks, "So that's what happened, huh? I thought it would have been awfully strange if Dad had been captured by the Sky Pirates." Scheherazade muses, "Well, it looks like our question has finally been answered." Olivier laughs. "Oh, how ironic." Estelle blows, "Now wait a minute. Then just what is Dad doing? With something this big going on, why hasn't he contacted us?" Joshua says, "Calm down, Estelle. I know you're as curious to know as I am, but thinking about it now isn't going to get us anywhere. Our focus needs to be on securing the safety of the hostages." Estelle sighs. "Okay. You're right. I guess I'll just have to forget about it for now." Scheherazade says, "Listen up, everyone. We are now going to go after the Sky Pirate leaders and arrest them. I know how you all must feel, but I need you to sit tight a little longer." Captain Grant replies, "We're waiting here. Good luck." Trino says, "If that's the case, we'll prepare for the worst. Our lives are in your hands." In other words, don't let us down. Estelle nods. "Leave everything to us." No treasure chests. Alright, well, we'll go back up and explore those sections that I skipped over. Not really skipped over, but nasty rat spring. Ow! Heal up Joshua and fire everyone else. No! No! Why would you do that? No! Fortunately, he'll get back up in time to get healed. In theory. Dear Joshua, this time. Joshua's gonna finish it off.
All right, we're good to go.
And we got a juicy bone. Five for everyone, and we will tear Scheherazade. Tear Joshua this time. Fire!
Oh, are we done already?
Clear gelatine. Well done, us. We found bear assault. Oh, it is a pistol. Strength plus 35, range plus 4. Large caliber hunting gun made by the Vernon Corporation. So we shall equip that to Olivier. Lovely. Just because it's safer to come out first. Tear for Joshua and fire for everyone else. We will burn ammo. No, we won't. We will aqua bleed Owl. Because we can. Then soul blur it.
Enjoy the show.
And we've got a juicy bone. And that's the way we get. Estelle asks, "What's this?" Joshua replies, I'm guessing it's an orbital vacuum. It looks like the newest model, so it's probably stolen. Estelle says, interesting. Huh? What's this? There's something stuffed inside. We found a black notebook. Joshua asks, a notebook? Estelle nods, yep, that's what it looks like to me. But what's something like this doing inside a vacuum? Scheherazade says it's probably something important. Let's hold on to it just in case. Estelle nods, yeah, good idea. Black notebook. A notebook found inside a vacuum in the sky by bandits for hideout. Nonsensical rows of numbers are written inside. Okay. We continue. Let's fire it up. Ow.
Oh, are we done already?
Olivier is now level 16. We're nearly out of MP. Okay. Let's deal with the moles. The gold rats. Physically, shall we?
All right, we're good to go.
Oh, I got some clear gelatine. So we sorted them out. And we're back where we were. Deeper we go. Now we can go deeper. We can explore. A familiar voice can be heard. Estelle asks, is this? Joshua replies, yep, it looks like the Sky Pirate boss's room. Let's not yet raid. Let's see what's down here. There is a rock wall at the end of the passage. Estelle asks, is this a dead end? Joshua shakes his head. No, it looks like there's something here. Shall we try pushing on it? Let's push on the rock wall. And we're out. Estelle gasps. This was a secret door? Olivier says, that's quite a neat little trick there. I wouldn't expect anything less from a secret vault. Joshua says, this looks like it's a corner of the Nebel Valley. Shahara, should we help the hostages escape first? Scheherazade says, no, we need to take out the Sky Pirate bosses first. If we're attacked while attempting to escape, there's no way we'll be able to protect that many people. Estelle says, oh, that's true. Olivier says, well then, how about we get back in there and have a face-to-face chat with the gentleman running this fine organization? Yes, let's. After we explore a little bit here. Oh, hello. Oh, what are you? You're a snow mantis. You have 288 HP. You drop tricolored rice, a giant praying mantis monster. It can freeze its prey with a single swift attack. Okay. We also have white insectos, which has 298 HP. It drops kibbled salt. A large insect monster. It has the ability to paralyze prey with its attack. Okay then. Joshua can go after you.
Take that.
And we receive tricolored rice and kibbled salt. And we found another pair of Strega R's. So who then shall we equip them to? Got spikes, that which is defense +5. You've got spikes, which is defense +5. And you have work boots, which is defense +5. So, sorry, defense +8. You should probably equip them to Joshua. Keep him alive just a little bit longer. Right. We're back inside. Now it's time to go consult and insult and assault the bosses. A familiar voice can be heard. Estelle asks, is this? Joshua nods. Yep. It looks like the Sky Pirate boss's room. Let's eavesdrop and then raid the room. Don laughs. So the Queen's going to pay out the ransom, is she? Now we can finally say goodbye to this meager living. Kyle says, don't get careless, bro. We haven't got the money in hand yet. Josette says, yeah, and we'll need to decide on a plan on how to let the hostages go. Don asks, let the hostages go? Now hold on a minute. Why do we have to bother with that? Josette asks, eh? But Don says, once we get our mirror, we'll just kill them all and be done with it. We've no need to leave them alive. Josette asks, Dawn? Kyle gasps, you're joking, right? Dawn says they know exactly what we look like, remember? Even if we left LaBelle for good, we could still be tracked, right? Josette says, but there are old people and kids among them. Do you really intend to kill them all? Dawn says, I swear, no matter how old you get, you never grow up. This isn't playtime, get it? Josette says, but I... Kyle says, I'm sorry to say this, bro, but I'm against killing the hostages too. Aidos will never forgive us if we do that. And I don't want to get our home back with mirrors stained in the blood of innocent people. Dawn fixes them with a dead stare. Kyle, since when did you become the boss around here? Kyle asks, huh? Dawn shouts, I think it's about time you learned your place. Kyle gets hit by a bottle of wine. I hope that wasn't expensive wine. Kyle grasps, ugh. Josette cries, Kyle! Dawn laughs, who cares about our old home? With this kind of mirror coming in, what could you possibly want with our old worthless land? We're going to blow all this cash somewhere near the southern resort and enjoy the good life for a while. Kyle asks, what did you say? Dawn says, and once we run out of mirror, we'll just hijack ourselves another airship. This is going to be the future of the Capua Sky Pirates. Dawn laughs rather maniacally. Josette asks, Dawn, what's happened to you? What in Aidos' name has happened to you? Estelle says, sorry to interrupt, but could you have your little family feud later? Josette gasps, you again? Kyle gasps, braces? Why are you here? Olivier says, how can you say something so heartless? Especially after you gave us a lift here in your own airship. Kyle says, impossible, what are you talking about? It can't be. Estelle says, you had your airship sitting in front of the Amberl Tower, right? We just slipped in when you weren't looking and hid in the cargo hull. In other words, we stole a ride from a bandit. Ha! Take that! Josette growls, for a dimwit, you've really outdone yourself this time. Estelle frowns. Who are you calling a dimwit? You two-faced tomboy? Josette sputters. What did you just call me? You bimbo? Airhead brute? Estelle growls, just try and say that again. Joshua sighs, alright, enough of the bickering between you two. We've liberated the hostages and defeated the other members of your group. So it looks like all that's left is you three. Scheherazade says, in accordance with the laws of the Bracers Guild, you are hereby placed under arrest. It would be best not to resist. Kyle grumbles, man. Josette sighs, crap. Dawn says, Kyle, Josette, what is the meaning of this? Kyle says, sorry, bro. Josette mumbles, I'm sorry, Dawn. Dawn laughs, that's okay, I'll forgive you just this once. Once I kill them, that'll be that. Estelle screams, what? Dawn laughs, what a bunch of fools you are. To think with that pitiful number of people you could ever capture Don Capua. Estelle screams, ah! Joshua says, "Look how effortlessly he handles that orbital cannon." Don screams, "Kyle, Josette, it's time to hunt some game. And I like my sport bloody." It appears to be on. So, we have Josette with 798 HP, no particular elemental weakness, no item drops. The lone female member of the Capua household supports her companions with specialty arts. We have Kyle with 912 HP. He is weak to water, fire, and wind magic. He drops nothing. And he is the number 2 man of the Capua household. His smoke bombs are blinding, and he's quite agile. And then we have Dawn with 1918 HP. He has no elemental weakness, drops no item, and he is the head of the Capua household. Never hesitates to fire his massive cannon. I bet he has a massive cannon. Anyway, what we're going to do
Let me show you the true essence of beauty.
is limit break them all, and then see what's left.
Someone's been naughty.
Hopefully we can take out both Kyle and Josette. Well, we've taken out Josette. And then we can focus on Mr. Don. And there goes Kyle. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. That hurts. That hurts. We're going to split up. Speed up the flow of time for Olivier. Ow. Let's see. Because Olivier has a lot of magic that he can use. Cast a temporary wind barrier over Estelle, I think. And then Estelle can use Tear on Scheherazade. Fortunately, he missed that. Going to Tear Estelle. But he missed again. That's very fortunate for me. Okay, I'm gonna have to move Joshua in. Then I'm going to move Estelle around to here. Ow! Going to move Scheherazade up. Then we will tear Joshua. And we will use dual strike on Don. And we got him, yes!
Alright, we're good to go.
We receive 60 EXP. Very nice. Quite a few Sepith. Lovely. Kyle gasps, these guys are tough. So this is the strength of a bracer, huh? Josette sighs, crap, how can I lose to this girl? Estelle grins, and that's how it's done. Have you learned your lesson yet? Scheherazade says, now that this has been settled, I'm going to ask that you surrender nicely. Any more trouble out of you, and well, you know what'll happen, right? Scheherazade stroked her whip and smiled at Josette. Josette gasps, yikes, no, anything but that. Kyle asks, why me? Why do I have to go down like this? Don groans, Ow, what's going on? I hurt all over. And when did I get an orbital cannon? What the heck? Kyle asks, oh? Josette asks, Don? Don laughs, oh, Josette, are you back from Roland already? If you're back this quickly, then I guess things didn't work out, huh? Josette asks, huh? Don laughs, haha, don't try and cover it up. If you've had enough, then how about leaving the breadwinning to us men? We probably won't be able to earn a whole lot, but be patient. Josette gasps, Don, what are you talking about? Kyle asks, did you hit your head, bro? Josette came back from Roland like forever ago. I went to pick her up right after we attacked the airliner. Don asks, what? Attacked an airliner? What's all this crazy talk? We'd never do something like that. Kyle can't believe his ears. Neither can Josette. Estelle whispers, what is this guy talking about? Joshua whispers back, I don't think he's trying to cover his butt. I think he really doesn't know. Don says, come to think of it, who are these strangers? Don't tell me they're new recruits. Scheherazade says, sorry to burst your bubble, but we're not. We're with the Bracers Guild. Don asks, huh? What are a bunch of bracers doing up here? Estelle sighs, this guy's completely lost his marbles. Olivier laughs, what an interesting turn of events. Scheherazade says, whether you've forgotten or not, you're still under arrest. You're charged with hijacking an airliner, hostage-taking, demanding a ransom, and other such offences. Don asks, hijacking an airliner? Hostage-taking? Demanding a ransom? Kyle, Josette, tell me that this is some kind of joke. Josette says, Don. Kyle replies, I think that's my line. But thanks to you, bro, we've got a chance to escape. And a smoke bomb. Estelle starts coughing. Scheherazade groans. Oh hell, not again. Don cries out, hey! Josette asks, Kyle? Kyle cries, we'll talk about this later. Let's just focus on getting out of here. Olivier coughs. I'm never going to get the smell of this out of my hair. Joshua shouts, let's hurry and get out of this room. Estelle demands, which way did they go? Joshua says, they went up. They're going to try and escape in the airship. Estelle gasps, ah! Scheherazade says, after tracking them this far, we can't let them get away. We've got to catch them. Estelle nods, right. Joshua says, understood. Olivier coughs, I made it out alive. Oh, what a tragedy this has become. My delicate nasal cavity. Estelle shouts, hey Olivier, you'd better hurry or we're going to leave you behind. Olivier coughs, wait for me. Well, let's head up then, possibly. No, there's nothing in that pot, or that pot, but there is a reviving balm in that chest. The treasure chest is offended that you have returned. Was the first time not good enough for you? I mean... Can we set them free? Perhaps. Estelle asks, the Sky Pirates didn't happen to run in here, did they, Captain Grant? Captain Grant says, no, but I did happen to hear a bunch of loud voices and footsteps coming from outside. It sounds to me like they might have rushed up the stairs. Joshua says, Estelle, they're going to try to escape in their airship. Estelle nods, right, we've got to hurry after them. Joshua says, please forgive us, Captain, but we'll need you to sit tight a little longer. Captain Grant says, no worries, you kids just be careful out there. Well, we're going back upstairs. Oh, hello. Sky Pirate Lonnie says, hold it right there, you. Sky Pirate Dino says, you're not getting past us. Estelle asks, you guys are back for more after taking a righteous beating like that? Joshua says, now that's what I call tough. Scheherazade snorts, if you don't want to move, then we're just going to force our way through. Well, yes we are. Ow. I actually should have healed Joshua. Well, we got rid of one. Yeah, for Joshua. And Olivier misses from this close. Tier for Scheherazade.
Take that!
Got him, yes!
We're good to go.
Some nice fire. Right. Hopefully that'll be enough to sort that out. Because now Scheherazade's drive, MP. And Joshua's about to be. Let's tear Olivier.
Enjoy the show.
And Scheherazade is leveled up to level 16. We receive some clear gelatine and 2 juicy bones. Tier Joshua. Firebolt. So we'll conserve some MP.
Enjoy the show.
Clear gelatine is our prize. Sky Pirate Aaron says, "Don't think you're going up any further." Sky Pirate Roscoe says, "Take the hostages and go." Estelle sighs, "So you're back for more, huh? When will you learn?" Joshua demands, "What are you trying to do? Buy time for your leaders to escape?" Sky Pirate Roscoe laughs. They've done a lot for us over the years. Sky Pirate Aaron says, now it's time to return the favour. Apparently. Ow. Close one. Too close one.
Take that.
Ow.
Take that.
And Jewel strike you. And you should go down next time.
Take that.
Possibly. Yes, he did.
Enjoy the show.
And Joshua is still level up to level 16. Joshua has learned Taunt. And some nice red ones. Okay, let's fire. And attack. Fire you. And fire you. What? Oh, of course. Because Joshua hasn't attacked yet. And I've got enough just to finish it off physically. So that's what we should do. Save the problem for the bosses.
Oh, are we done already?
Done and done.
Piece of cake.
Some clear agility for our trouble. Sky Pirate Lyle says, "Crap, it looks like we've got company." Sky Pirate Ryan says, "Don't think you're going to walk out of here the same way you came in. All we need to do is buy some time for Don, Kyle and Josette to escape." Olivier says, "Trying to shield your masters to the bitter end, eh? Though it's a ridiculous thing to do, your spirit is admirable." Scheherazade says, "Then I wonder if beating them into the ground might be a way to honour their sacrifice. Let's take them down." Indeed. Ow. Ow.
Come on.
Yes, let's strength up. Oh. Craft. And he missed. And he missed. Ow. Not nice. Okay, let's tear Joshua because he needs it. She can die as well. Need to tear Olivier too, by the looks of it. Just like that. Nicely timed critical strike.
Take that. Enjoy the show.
Gee, there's a lot of you, isn't there? Once that mole rat is down. lucky you couldn't make it to us. Going to dual strike you. Lovely. And we'll tear Scheherazade. Scheherazade will do you. We'll do for you. And we'll do for you too.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Oh, hello. Estelle says, huh? Joshua asks, what's this? Kyle asks, how'd the army find out about this place? That liar, things weren't supposed to go down like this. Josette cries, hey, get your dirty mitts off of me. Donna asks, hey, what's going on here? Dorothy asks, so those are the ringleaders of the Sky Bandits? I'm surprised there's such a young woman too. Niall says, how about you shut your yap and start taking some good pictures? What are the chances of getting another scoop like this? Colonel Richard says, so how about it, Niall? Is this enough to help you write a decent article? Niall nods. You bet it is. I'm really grateful that you took us along. Oh, and would you mind if we took a picture of you while we're at it? Colonel Richard asks, what do you think, General Morgan? General Morgan sniffs. Do as you like. This plan was successful thanks to your genius. In all honesty, this is truly something to boast about. Colonel Richard shakes his head. No, this was just the result of the accuracy of the Intelligence Division's analysis. And thanks to the cooperation of those of you standing over there. General Morgan asks, what? Estelle mutters, what are you guys, how the heck? What's going on exactly? Niall says, it's you kids again. Dorothy grins. Hey look, it's Estelle and Joshua. General Morgan splutters. Braces? Why are you here? Scheherazade says, just for the record, I'll tell you, we infiltrated this place one step ahead of you. Again. And the entire hideout has been subdued. Joshua says, we chased the fleeing sky pirate leaders up this way, but I never would have guessed that the Royal Army's patrol ships would be waiting. General Morgan growls. Once again, you've overstepped your bounds. Colonel Richard says, with all due respect, General, it was because of them that our military strike soared this level of success. Therefore, shouldn't we in turn recognize their achievements? General Morgan stutters. Do as you wish. I'll leave the rest up to your discretion. I'll return to the ship and see what information I can get out of these sky pirates. Colonel Richard says, very well, General. Estelle groans. That old man's as stubborn as ever. Colonel Richard says he's not a bad person, he just lacks a little flexibility. That aside, where are the other sky pirates and the hostages? Scheherazade replies, the other lackeys should be just lying all over the place unconscious. And as for the hostages, we have them waiting in the same room they were imprisoned in. Colonel Richard nods. I see. You've done this nation a great service. Please leave the transportation of the hostages and cargo to us. Let's move, Captain Amalthea. Captain Amalthea nods. Yes, Colonel. Niall cries, wait for me, Colonel. I'd really like to interview you kids, but this time the Colonel is top priority. But if we had another opportunity, I'd appreciate doing one with you too. Dorothy says, see you later, Estelle. Joshua? Olivier says, my, you had your whole shining moment uprooted and stolen just like that. Estelle groans, you got that right. Scheherazade says, don't let it bother you, Estelle. The Brace's role has always been that of the unsung hero, so there's no reason for us to stand out. Joshua nods. That sounds about right, yeah. Dad always made a point of staying in the background, too. Estelle asks, really? I never noticed. Ah, where is Dad? Joshua says, I guess that's the one problem we've still got to figure out. Where is Dad now? What is he doing? And why hasn't he tried to contact us? Estelle grumbles. Scheherazade says, it looks like there's nothing else left for us to do here. In the meantime, let's get back to Beausset and report what happened with the incident. We'll try and figure out what to do about your dad after that. And so we return to the Beausset Bracers Guild. Mayor Maybell says, I really appreciate all your hard work. It appears that my impression about you was right. I knew that you would come through and bring closure to this incident. Estelle sighs, yeah, but the army took off with all the glory, so I don't know if we could exactly say that we solved the case. Mayor Maybell says, no, that's not true. If you hadn't been there, I don't know if the army's raid would have been so successful. Backed into a corner as they were, the Sky Pirates may very well have harmed the hostages. Legrand says, agreed. Everything worked out because you infiltrated their hideout and took them out ahead of time. You should be proud of what you've done. Estelle asks, you really think so? Scheherazade says, it's true that the hostages were freed and the Sky Pirates arrested, but it's a bit vexing to know that there are still some unanswered questions left. Joshua says, the men who appeared at the Valeria Lakeshore and the mystifying attitude of the leader of the Sky Pirates. I think we should consider that there's a lot behind this incident that we don't know about. Legrand says, well, I guess we'll have to leave that part up to the Royal Army to figure out. With all the culprits being detained by them, there's really not much left we can do. Mayor Maybell says, anyway, we should just be glad that all the hostages came back safe. Thanks to the news about the arrest of the Sky Pirates, things are returning to normal here in town. As a token of my thanks, I've added a bit of a bonus to your reward. Estelle asks, really? Are you okay with that? Mayor Maybell laughs, of course I am. I'd like to thank you too, Olivier. Olivier laughs. I just hope that my work was worth the price of that grand Chardonnay. Mayor Maybell replies, yes, in fact there was change to spare. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and if anything else comes up, I'd greatly appreciate your help again. Leela the maid says, good day. And off she and Maybell go. Estelle says, wow, nice that someone appreciates us. Joshua says, I'm sure that if the incident had gone on any longer, it would have caused much more confusion. It's probably only natural as the mayor is as happy as she is. Estelle laughs. Now I'm starting to feel all giddy inside. I don't think a bracer could be any more happy than knowing her work helped out a bunch of other people. Scheherazade laughs, if you say so. But I think it's safe to say that you're no longer greenhorns. Honestly, the two of you really surprised me this time. Estelle asks, you think so? Legrand says, at any rate, please accept your assessment and pay for clearing up the incident. We received payment for the South Block burglary. We received 8,000 Mira and we gained 10 BP. We have advanced in rank to Junior Bracer 6th class. And we received the Petrify Quartz as a perk. Legrand says, here's the pay the mayor was talking about. It's a very, very nice sum. And this is from me. We received a recommendation. Estelle asks, isn't this a recommendation from the Bose branch? Joshua asks, is it alright that you give this to us so soon? Legrand nods, of course, it would be downright rude of me not to recommend you after resolving such a big incident. Please accept it. Estelle grins, thank you, Legrand. Joshua says, we'll work hard so that we don't bring any embarrassment on this recommendation. Scheherazade laughs, great work, you two. I'm sure your father would be extremely pleased if he heard the news. Estelle looks despondent. Sure. Joshua adds, you're probably right. Legrand says, I wonder what on earth Cassius could be doing right now. Not contacting the guild is one thing, but not contacting his family is a completely different matter. Scheherazade nods. Yes, it's definitely not like him. After he suddenly disembarked from the airliner in Bose, I wonder where he could have gone. A young man's voice cries out, excuse me, please. Legrand asks, aren't you that receptionist from the landing port? What's the matter? Receptionist Ted says, you see, we recovered some of the cargo stolen by the Sky Pirates, and among some of the pieces were a number of parcels addressed to the Bracers Guild. So I'm here to deliver one of them today. Legrand says, I appreciate you doing that, but wait a minute. Why is there something addressed to this branch when the airliner left Bose to begin with? Receptionist Ted says, it's actually addressed to the Relent branch. But aren't Cassius Bright's family members here? Estelle asks, what? Joshua says, that's us, but... Receptionist Ted exclaims, oh, perfect! We contacted the Roulette branch and they said you would come here. Here you are, this is the parcel. Estelle was given both the letter and parcel. Estelle says, this letter, yep, it's in Dad's handwriting. It's addressed to Joshua and I at the Roulette branch. Joshua says, it seems as if he just scribbled it out before he got off the airliner. I guess Dad did intend on getting in contact with us after all. Estelle says, oh. Scheherazade smiles. Well, that's good to hear. So that parcel is from your dad, too? Estelle shakes her head. No, this one looks like it was sent to my dad by someone else. Huh? That's odd. Joshua agrees. Yeah, the sender hasn't written their name anywhere. Receptionist Ted says, okay, my business here is done, so I'll be on my way. And off he toddles. Hang on. Oh, and just one other thing. Good job in helping arrest those Sky Pirates. You Bracers sure do excellent work. Now off he toddles. Legrand says, and to think that a clue about your father would be mixed in with the airliner's cargo. Feel free to use the lounge upstairs to read his letter if you'd like. Estelle says, thanks, Legrand. Olivier says, well then, let's have a look at the contents, shall we? And upstairs we go. Estelle asks, do you mind telling me what you're still doing here? Olivier replies, it's just plain and simple curiosity, that's all. Why did your father disembark the airliner prior to its departure? Were I forced to wait around for an answer, the question would stick in my mind, so I'd never be able to sleep at night. Estelle asks, and you're telling me this because... Olivier says, oh, how heartless and cruel can you be to a companion who's travelled alongside you? And just who is it you have to thank for being able to infiltrate the Sky Pirate's hideout, I wonder? Estelle growls, all right already. Scheherazade says, you can be a rather obnoxious fellow, I hope you know. Joshua says, I guess we don't have much of a choice. However, depending on the content, we may have to ask you to leave, okay? Olivier laughs. Of course, I understand. Estelle says, all right, let's see what he has to say. Estelle started by cutting the letter seal. Dear Estelle and Joshua, I'm sure you're probably about finished with the jobs I left for you, right? I'm also sure there are many things you'll have trouble with in the beginning, but take each one step at a time, and I know you both can succeed. Anyway, it turns out that I've had a little trouble with my own work, and unfortunately it looks like I won't be able to make it home for quite some time. Please don't expect my return until after the Queen's birthday celebration. I'm really sorry that things turned out like they did, but you should be grown up enough not to be lonely while I'm away. So until I get back, I'll leave it up to the both of you to decide how you want to live. You're free to continue working in Roulette, or you're free to pursue qualifying as a senior bracer. Your 16th year is a vintage time in your life, so make sure not to waste it. Please give my regards to Scheherazade and Aina. Cassius Bright. Scheherazade says, that seems like the type of letter your father would write. It touches lightly on things, but it's full of consideration toward the both of you. Estelle nods, yeah. Joshua agrees, it looks that way. Olivier says, the Queen's birthday celebration, is it? From what I've heard, it's still a ways off. Scheherazade says, yep, it's about 2 or 3 months away, which means this would be the perfect time to take a small trip. I really wonder where your father is and what he's up to. Estelle and Joshua are deep in thought. Olivier says, forget about that and let's focus on what's in that package. With an unknown center, there's bound to be something interesting inside. Estelle agrees. To be honest, I'm pretty curious myself. But we shouldn't be opening things addressed to my dad. Olivier asks, why don't you think of it this way? It was a package delivered by an unknown sender about the time your father disappeared. The two might be related, you know? Estelle says, that's true. Scheherazade sighs, Olivier. Don't coax Estelle into doing something to satisfy your own curiosity. Joshua says, actually though, Olivier does have a good point. Instead of leaving it until her own dad comes home, it might be worth looking into. Estelle says, okay, let's check it out. Estelle opened the parcel from the unknown sender. Inside was a shiny, black, hemispherical device. Also enclosed was a single memo with the item. Estelle asks, "What's this supposed to be?" Joshua says, "It's an ointment, though I'm not sure what it's used for. Let's see what the memo says. I was able to secure the item the aforesaid group was carrying, so please take care of it. Please ask Professor R to do an analysis of it when you find an opportunity. Signed by K." Estelle asks, "That's it?" Joshua replies, "Yep, it looks like the sender didn't write anything else." "Shara, do you have any idea who K or Professor R might be?" Scheherazade groans. "I hate to say this, but I don't have a clue for either. Your father's pretty well known, so there's a possibility these people could be foreigners too." Estelle says, "If this is the only thing we've got to go on, then honestly I'm about ready to throw in the towel. What the heck is this black ornament anyway?" Scheherazade says, "From the shape alone, it doesn't look like anything intended for general use, although it feels a little similar to a battle ornament." Olivier says, "Even so, it's still quite different. A normal battle ornament has slots in which to install quartz, but this one has none. Maybe this one is an artifact." Estelle asks, "An artifact?" Olivier nods. "Precisely. An artifact is an ornament created by an ancient civilization. Artifacts are the models for all ornaments produced today. They're still occasionally discovered in ruins, and for the most part the Septian Church has custody over them. They're a type of antique, so to speak." Scheherazade says, "But this one doesn't appear to be that old. It looks to me like it was made recently." Olivier says, "You're right about that. However, this one almost seems like a black market item." Estelle shouts, "Jeez, now look what's happened because of my good-for-nothing dad. Doesn't he know that we're all worried about him?" Joshua gasps, "Estelle?" Estelle says, "Now he's getting some sketchy item from an unknown sender. What in the world has my dad gotten himself into this time?" Scheherazade says, "Estelle." Joshua is deep in thought. "You know, Estelle, I've been thinking, how about we continue our journey?" Estelle asks, "Huh?" Scheherazade asks, "Joshua?" Joshua says, "That's what Dad wrote in his letter, right? He said, well, you're free to pursue qualifying as a senior bracer." Estelle nods. "Yeah, he did say that, but..." Joshua says, "We've already managed to get recommendations from Roulette and Bose, right? All that's left are Rouen, Zeiss, and Gransel. Only those three. If we do jobs as we travel around to those other regions, we might just hear something about where Dad is or what he's doing. I think we're just worrying ourselves for nothing, considering Dad's skills, and there's also the possibility that he may have even travelled abroad. But I think getting off our own duffs is a lot better than just sitting around and waiting. And we might just be able to find this Professor R too." Estelle says, Joshua... Joshua asks, "What?" Estelle cries, "You're a genius." Joshua gasps, "Estelle, what are you talking about?" Estelle says, "This is like killing two birds with one stone, or maybe even 10. Sometimes I hate you for being so smart." Joshua says, "So should I consider that a yes?" Estelle grins. "Oh, is it ever? Yes, yes, triple yes. Trading to be senior bracers as we travel around Le Bel, and exposing that good-for-nothing middle-aged man has been doing in the process." Joshua groans. I think you're somehow missing the point. Scheherazade laughs. It looks like she's back to her old self. Olivier laughs. I guess it's settled then. And we're headed to the Beausset International Port. Scheherazade says, well, take care. I'm going to head back to Roulette now. That said, I'm still a little worried about you two. Are you sure you don't want me to come along? Estelle says, give it a rest, Scheherazade. We'll be fine. The whole reason we're going on this trip is to become senior bracers. It wouldn't be training anymore if you came with us. Joshua says, and if you didn't go back, the Roulette branch would have a hard time managing things. Don't worry about us. We'll figure out a way to get things done. Scheherazade says, well, if you insist. It's pretty rare for someone your age to be aiming for senior bracer status, so don't overdo it. And if you run into any trouble, contact the Roulette branch, you got it? I'll come running no matter where you are. Estelle says, sure, thanks, Cheryl. And the same goes for you. Don't get yourself too liquored up. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Scheherazade laughs. All right, I'll watch the number of drinks. Olivier says, never fear, dear children. You can count on me to protect fair Scheherazade. Estelle grumbles, and why are you headed to Roulette? Not to mention with Scheherazade. Olivier says, that's because I've tasted all there is to taste of the local dishes here in Beausset, and I thought it was about time I turned my attentions towards another region. As for Roulette's cuisine, I've heard the produce is to die for, so that's what I'm looking forward to next. Scheherazade says, that's pretty much it. He says he wants me to introduce him to a nice restaurant and some lovely vegetables or some such nonsense. Since he's so persistent, I only agreed to him coming along under the condition that he go drinking with me at the bar. Estelle sighs. We'll never see him alive again. Joshua says, Olivier, I really hope you understand what you've promised her. Olivier says, I could die for the likes of fine women and food. Part of me longs to be by your side as you continue your journey, Joshua. But after many agonizing hours of consideration, I've decided to accompany fair Scheherazade instead. Joshua says, I think I'll be better off with you a safe distance away from me. Estelle says, well, have fun, but I'm warning you, don't you dare make any trouble in Roulette, you hear me? And here's another piece of advice. When Scheheraz's at the bar, watch out, that's when the gloves come off. I'm seriously not joking when I say you should beware. Scheherazade snaps, how dare you speak about your mentor like that, Estelle? And besides, Aina's coming along too. Estelle grumbles, yeah, and she's even worse than you. Olivier says, the gloves come off, eh? Is that, perchance, what you and Estelle were talking about before? Joshua nods. Yes, Estelle said it best though. It was nice knowing you. Olivier says, yes, it was a pleasure. Eh? A woman's voice says, the Roulette-bound airliner will soon be departing. All passengers, please board the airship now. Scheherazade says, well, Ollie boy, it looks like it's time for us to leave. Come on now, we'd better hurry and get on. Olivier says, Scheherazade, wait, can't we talk this over? I'd really appreciate it if I had just a little more time to think things through. Scheherazade asks, surely you're not getting cold feet already? If you consider yourself a man, then quit acting like a ninny. Olivier shrieks and gets dragged aboard. Estelle says, "See you later, Cheryl. Give our regards to everyone in Roulette." Joshua says, "Have a wonderful trip, you two." And off goes the airship. And that is the end of Chapter 1, Disappearance of the Linda. And consequently, that will also be the end of this episode. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next episode.